Welcome back to the morning brief, and we head over to the subnationals now. And just 2 days ago, Enugu State launched Enugu Air, becoming the second state to now own an airline. Of course, we know that we have Ibom Air, so we now have Enugu Air, and that has come with a lot of commendation from across Nigeria. So let's look at what went into the establishment of this airline, and of course moves to getting all other requirements for full functional operation. And joining us on the program is the Commissioner for Transportation in Enugu State, Mr. George Ozo. He joins us virtually from Enugu State, and he's also the founder of 360. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the program, Mr. Ozo. I hope I got your name correctly.
Yeah, Dr. Obi, also good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, Dr. Obi, thank you for joining us. First of all, let's start, by setting the tone. Help us understand what went through into the establishment of Enugu Air and up until the launch before we look at the other nitty-gritty. Dr. Ozo?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, go ahead. Did you get my question?
No, sorry.
So help us understand what went into the establishment of the Enugu Air. And of course, you may also want to provide us with the cost as well, total cost to this, before we look at all of the aspects of the airline.
So the airline is just part of the Governor Peter Bartlett administration grand approach to lifting the people out of poverty and growing the economy from the current $4 billion to $30 billion. We have a lot of teeming educated youths. And what we really need in the state is to create an enabling environment for them to be very productive and add to the economy. So transportation, of course, presents that key opportunity, whether you think of the buses, the electric taxis, the bus terminals, the rail, and of course the airline, which we're discussing today. The goal is to create over 20,000 jobs before the end of this decade within that transportation sector. And of course, transportation is the vein that through which economies are powered. And having air transportation, especially for this southeast region that are predominantly business people and traders, is critical to be able to give them access, not just within the country, but also outside of the country to go about their business. So turning Enugu into a hub is the key strategy behind this.
And so Enugu Air is going to be operating with XCJet as partner and operator of the new airline. So how long will this partnership, last before Enugu Air takes over full operations?
Yes, of course, the airline belongs wholly to the people of Enugu State. We didn't lease. We did an outright purchase of these Embraer 170s and 190s. And we have our air transport license, but we're still in the process of completing the AOC process. And for now, we are being powered, and our operator is XCJet. And we hope that in the next few months, we complete that AOC requirement. However, the arrangement we have with our operator, especially since they have made their mark in aviation, not just within Nigeria, but even running SCL alone, is to support us between now and the next 2 years. That is what we've agreed on while we build that capacity to be able to operate this important business, of course, through partnerships as well, so that it's sustainable.
Okay. So, Dr. let's look at some of the areas. Great idea. I think there's Ibom Air, there's Cali Air. I don't know whether that's still operating. That's from Cross River State. And now there's Enugu Air. It looks like a lot of governors are now building airports across board. So tell us what exactly is going on because I'm looking at the area of business sustainability. Traffic is what drives these kinds of venture and enterprise in the broader sense. What is going on in Enugu that you think that this airline is absolutely necessary? Is this just a status symbol or it was responding to a need?
If you have visited the Enugu in the past 2 years, you notice that it will actually take you almost 3 days to find to buy a ticket, because people have been coming here since the Mbara-led administration solved insecurity to a great extent. So you've seen that we built the International Conference Center, which is hosting a lot of conferences, including the upcoming Nigerian Bar Association MBA conference in August. So we're expecting over 3 million visitors per annum in the state. And even if you were to just do a rough calculation, you will need over 80 flights landing in Enugu on a daily basis to be able to cater to those. So because of the different things we are planning in the state, the tourism, the hospitality, opening our economy and serving as that regional hub within the Southeast and even across Nigeria, you need to be able to be proactive in ensuring that you can be able to actually support all this growth. And what we are focusing on now is even just the Golden Triangle, being able to move business people from this region to the Lagos, to Abuja, then within Abuja to Lagos, and of course, shortly cover the entire Nigeria and also take them to do their businesses across West and Central Africa and the rest of the world.
Is the state and your ministry especially also having a conversation around sub-regional transit? What I mean, intra-sub-regional transit, because I want to do a quick one from Lagos to Port Harcourt, and I want to dash to Enugu. I have to come back to either Abuja or Lagos. So this issue around the sub-regions, being able to have flight going across, I know it's not within your purview, but I'm just saying, is that also a conversation? Because that is what a lot of us have been waiting for.
Yes, of course, that is part of the real value add to this Enugu Air operated by our partner ExeJet. Because think about it, today, as you mentioned, somebody from the South, Port Harcourt, cannot come to Enugu directly. So we want to be able to have the appropriate aircraft that will be able to take people from Enugu to Port Harcourt and back and forth. And it's not just even in the airline, even in the land transportation, with the procurement of 200 CNG buses, which will be commissioned in a few weeks. And also, of course, the 2,000 electric cars and the regional rail, the 135.5 kilometer of regional rail that connects all the city within the Southeast, of course, joining the national line that is coming from Port Harcourt, going all the way to Maiduguri.
So, Dr. Ozo, when you look at the conditions for, certification of an airline, you would see that that is the real work, of, operating an airline, the training, the applications, all of those requirements. And this is the heart of the conversation, really, such that beyond this enthusiasm and the furore about the launch of Enugu Air, it doesn't go the way of Cali Air and Imo Air that are non-operational at this point. So why has the government did not prioritize meeting the conditions of the AOC before the full launch?
Yeah, of course, part of what you mentioned, which is key, Enugu is being piloted by an entrepreneur. the governor, of course, is a big-time player within the oil and gas space. And all the team he has assembled, most of the people are coming from an entrepreneurial space. Most of them are well-known, of course, business people. So the key thing, of course, is that we need to be able to open Enugu up quickly. And while we are running the process of the AOC, we've already secured our air transport license, which allows you to operate, but of course, under the guidance of an AOC holder. It doesn't really stop the process. Of course, how entrepreneurs think is different, right? And the key thing is that allows you to ease into that sector gradually. And that's why we started with just 3 regional aircrafts. And then gradually you scale in terms of machines and also in terms of scope of service. So, but in the next few months, we'll be completing the AOC process. But there is absolutely no challenge in actually working with your ATL and with an AOC holder who can also guide you, especially since you're a government, guide you so that you don't make unnecessary mistakes that we've seen that prone the industry in the past.
Right. I want us to speak to, well, the major issue now. So when people are trying to consider what airline to fly to their destination, primarily they think of the cost, they think of just how reliable the airline is. Are you going to leave at 7 a.m. indeed, or 7 + 2, depending on what happens? So speak to us. If I want to fly to Enugu today from Lagos, what is the average cost? And what is your assurance of reliability, punctuality, that when we say we would leave at this time, would leave at that time? And if we don't leave at that time, this is what you should do as a flyer or a customer, that is.
Yes. So, of course, what you asked is the key thing, right? Because for a state and a sector that is being piloted by entrepreneurs, we understand the importance of reliability. And safety, reliability, and comfort is at the heart of what we're trying to do with Enugu Air. What you see there is that, of course, you have to have spare parts, appropriate strategy for spare parts, repairs. You have to be able to hire people and spend a lot of money in training them, and also incentivize the right culture. So do you want to incentivize a load factor, basically a revenue, or do you want to incentivize safety and reliability? And what this administration has chosen, and the promoter of Enugu Air has chosen, is to prioritize safety and reliability. And as the governor even mentioned during the launch program, that if he is 1 minute late, that they should please shut the door, and he will go back and learn his lesson and start coming on time to board the Enugu Air operated by Exigent.
So how much, in terms of cost, average now, are you looking at? Because you're coming into a market that some will say with a lot of players, and they know how to play that price game. So if I want to fly what's your cheapest ticket, let me say, and what is the range? What are you hoping to achieve with the price range?
So if you try to buy a ticket now to Enugu, the price will currently be, if you're buying within 2 days, it'll probably be around 150 to 180. If you're buying a day before, it will be about 220,000. Our price is about 110,000, because the goal for Enugu Air is not just to charge, but also to allow access, to become that regional hub, to allow businesses to go in and out, moving them early in the morning to go about their business in different parts of this nation, and also making sure that you bring them back in the evening to be able to be with their families. So, and having that reliable schedule gives business people comfort to be able to plan accordingly.
Yeah. Well, we hope that that will indeed be the practice and standard operating procedure of Enugu Air as it begins operations, so that it's not business as usual, in line with the practice of airlines in the industry. But congratulations once again on the launch of Enugu Air, and thank you for being on the show. We've been talking with Dr. Obi Ozo, the Commissioner for Transportation, Enugu State. Thank you for coming through on this one.
Thank you very much.